Hello, and I apologize for the lack of uploading. That's because I'm very determined to make a ton of money in 2022 to invest in AI technology. So I want to talk about something today that before we start, I want to say that I have no ill will and no hatred towards anyone. And everything in this video is just my opinion, and it aims to provoke a meaningful discussion in the comment section. By meaningful discussion, I mean death threats, transphobia, people talking about their problems and their micro penis, people saying that they went to some black magician and they gave them a healing potion and their penis got bigger, and all the other gems that land on my comment section and they have to be removed. No, that's not meaningful. By meaningful, I mean just saying some things to make some people think and to make the people who hate me more. So I'm making this video with various people that I've met over the years in mind. They're not going to be named because they don't even deserve to spit on them. So if you feel that this video is directed to you, it's because it's actually directed to you. And let me start by saying, what is a privileged loser? And unfortunately, in this category for many years, I was included too. I was a privileged loser. And I had to crawl out of that pit entirely by myself. So this is to maybe help, maybe a miracle for the people who are still stuck in the pit. First of all, privilege is something very, very subjective. And there will be people who will say that they are not privileged at all, but on the same time, there are millions in other countries that they would kill to have what the loser who complains currently has. So if you're a privileged loser, in my definition at least, you have all of your basic needs met. You don't have to worry about shelter, you don't have to worry about food, you don't have to worry about bills. Either mommy and daddy pay them, or the government pays them, or you're underemployed, or you manage to hold down some job, and you don't have to worry about how and when you're going to get your next meal. Usually the privileged loser is a person that could be millennial and sometimes Generation X and tons of Zoomers, unfortunately, that they have been spoon-fed that they're, oh my god, so gifted, oh my god, so beautiful, oh my god, they can do whatever they put their mind into, oh my god, so superior. And unfortunately, when you have this brain Ebola infecting your mind day in and day out, you grow up and something very shocking happens. You start looking down on other people. And even if you don't realize, and even if you think that you're totally fine, other people pick it up. If you are a privileged loser who also happens to have achievements, yours truly, that I had academic achievements and all that, people also start feeling envious, and in combination with your smug attitude, you become more unwanted than genital herpes virus. Then abuse starts, or abuse intensifies, that you don't have the skills to actually deal with because no one taught you, and of course you're already superior, so why would anyone have to teach you anything? You know most that there is to be known already. You're the person that everyone said, you're so gifted, you're going to do anything you put your mind into. So you grow up and you start having all of those extreme goals for yourself. Could be academic, could be to be a writer, could be an actor, a musician, a scientist, anything. And usually you come from a house that is, should I say land of loons address? Should I say circus? Should I say people with a clusterfuck of disorders? Okay, well, let's say a mental illness dynasty. You come from a mental illness dynasty. There is intergenerational trauma, there could be inbreeding, there could be fetish marriages, that your dad was a white incel and had some non-white fresh off the boat bride, and no one is actually making any effort to deal with a mental illness. My family, I found out recently from my father, small gossip, that not only we have my schizophrenic uncle, we had two more schizophrenics, and two more that they were like past generation, we know up to 100 years before I was born, and my father is sure that they were schizophrenic, so like the crazy people living at the outskirts of the village. So you can imagine what genetics we're talking about, and we had the others who committed suicide. So your family they barely called by themselves, so they don't have time and ability to help you. So you continue getting older, and you can't succeed the goals that you actually wanted to succeed. And I have to say, I made this video because I see people becoming extremely bitter, and I realize that I start to hate them immensely. And I read in psychology that when you hate someone a lot, it's because they have traits that you have or you used to have. And I'm like, holy fuck, I'm like these people. So when I wasn't that unfortunate in the racial marriage, I went through a stage of I would get up and curse people from morning till night. If they called me, I would curse them on the phone. If they didn't call me, I would just curse them, like almost talking to myself level. And I would say, you know, I was supposed to be this, and you fucked over my life. I was supposed to be that, and you had to sabotage me, curse on you. I would strangle you if I could. You're not worth me going to jail and all of that stuff. And when I started the channel, I was actually in this situation, and I had so much hatred, and I attracted people who had so much hatred as well. And then something happened. What happened is that years passed, and I couldn't achieve any massive direct events. Like, I didn't go Elliot Rogers, if you know what I mean. But I started getting more preoccupied with my own shit. The channel took off. I had things to do in my real life, so I didn't care. And then when I looked at those people again, they had all become pathetic in the meantime. And it was all their fault. Like, for example, my Asian mother-in-law, her business went completely bankrupt. She's now living hand to mouth in some ghetto with black people, and she's so racist that she's going around saying, don't talk to black people because they're going to give you AIDS. Like, my condolences to everyone who lives there around here. It's a miracle how she didn't get killed yet, and if she got killed, I wouldn't feel sorry for her. So, what revenge are you going to take to someone who is almost 70, bankrupt, has been in America for 700 years and doesn't speak English, and has massive psychosis? Like, if you take revenge on this person, you start to feel dirty yourself. So that led me to examine my own behavior and to say, okay, so this turbo loser person actually stopped me from achieving my life. Maybe I had some part of it to do too. So this brings us to the fact that, yeah, a lot of that was actually my own brain Ebola and my own overestimating myself and believing that I can do whatever I put my mind into and ignoring so many factors around me. So I see so many people, and by I see, I mean from time to time I read their Quora, their personal blog, their failed YouTube channel, all of the stuff that they upload, and I see the hints about me and the horrible things that they say about me, that I'm a shit person, that I'm a shit friend, that I'm a stalker, that I'm envious of them because they went to Japan and I didn't, like, because I wanted to immigrate to Japan, now I don't. I would just go, like, live there for 3 to 9 months, then buy, then go to another country. So I have something to say about these people, that you can demonize me all you want, and you can say I'm a horrible person, but truth to be told, we attracted each other for a reason. And the reason is we were both entitled privileged losers. And then these people have another thing in common, that they find something and they make it their entire personality. Like, for example, random example, antinatalism, which is, in my opinion, so offensive, like telling humanity that it should be extinct. This is the epitome of narcissism. Like, it's like forcing your personal choices on everyone else. If someone wants to be euthanized because, let's say, they have cancer and they're suffering, I'm never going to go the way. I don't feel that I have the right to tell to a person, I'm going to force you to leave when you are in extreme pain, and I don't feel that pain. So similarly, you don't have the right to tell me you should be extinct, because who the fuck are you? Or people who made it everything about their race or their failed marriage, that it's my fault that their marriage failed, when in fact they're closeted homosexuals. Or people whose husband was massively cheating and he tried to hit on me and they sent them screenshots and to warn them, and I became the bad guy. So we attracted each other because we are toxic people, and believe it or not, we are all privileged, and I take responsibility, because compared to millions of people, and I don't just mean people in Africa or people in like some fourth world country, I mean people in America right now, they're homeless. People in first world countries are homeless. I was talking to a German person, they said they had so much bullying at school and their condition was turned off in fucking Germany. So how about you stop writing crap about me, writing crap about other people, and writing crap about humanity, and take a good, like, long look in the mirror and say, are you part of the problem? Maybe you're not the special snowflake that your parents told you to be because they needed you to be, because their own lives failed, so the only thing left to do was to live vicariously through you, to have you, to show you off around like some kind of circus animal, because that's what happened with me. That my father was spoon-fed all of that crap, that he's a genius, and that his older brother who's schizophrenic is a genius, and all of that. Yeah, Sure, they have above like 150 IQ, but they're also like leaning towards schizophrenia. My father has like 700 autoimmune illnesses, so genius my foot. But anyway, so my father told me once, I have failed in everything else in life, so you have to succeed because I need to be successful somewhere, so I have to be a successful parent. And that wasn't like years and years ago. There was one time when he asked me like, how are your book sales on Amazon? And I said they're good. And then he started ranting and saying, why don't you have an Amazon bestseller yet? Like, you need to stop writing garbage and focus. And I said, you're more upset than me that I don't have an Amazon bestseller. Why? It doesn't affect your life. And he said, of course it does, because you don't have kids and you're not the person I want you to be, so at least you have to be a best-selling author. So I can brag. So are you sure it's not like your family that started the problem and you continuing it by running away? I have to say that I'm proud for some of my haters. One of them landed acting jobs, the other one is actually writing. There is a third one that is actually supposedly working on themselves. I don't know what they're doing, but there is some improvement. I say that because I'm not going to be the person to tell you that other people have it worse, but sometimes we need to look around us. And I say the same about the hundreds and hundreds of fake subs who contact me, and they act as if femdom is the right and not a privilege, that they want free femdom sessions, or they want to date me out of nowhere, or they want me to relocate to their country. Like, excuse me, who the fuck are you again? There was someone who was whining and he said, I'm so lonely and I don't have friends. And I asked him, I said, I'm sorry, why are you entitled to friends? Like, did you make any effort to befriend people yourself? No. Did you volunteer? No. Did you participate in any groups or forums? No. So what do you expect, that you're going to be the dragon and people are going to flock down the street to ask you for your autograph and to befriend you? We are reaching like mass psychosis times. So yeah, for you that you wrote all of the crap about me, you plural, I read it. And they say, I'm sorry you're still in the pit. And I'm sorry you made race your entire personality, or antinatalism your entire personality, or your acting career when even the person selling tea at the side of the street hasn't even heard about you, your entire personality. I was there. There was a time when revenge was my entire personality. Now I have run out of people to take revenge against, because all the people that I hated are so pathetic that it's an insult to even want to take revenge against. I don't hit people on the ground. We need to have a fight like in the anime, I don't hit losers on the ground. So it was just me and my bullshit, and I had to start taking ownership of my own bullshit. And it's you and your bullshit too at this point. I've moved on from all of these people. I don't wish anything bad to happen to them. And something that I never expected to say, something the person who started the channel in 2017 would never say, is I actually feel some kind of pity for them. Call it cold empathy, I don't know. I feel some kind of pity for them because I've been there, and it's such a lonely place, and it's just an ugly place, and you're digging your own grave. And I have been saying it to the subs as well for so many years, stop like chasing actresses, mistresses, goddesses, Twitch cam girls, actual cam girls, and start looking around at the women around you, that you have a chance for a viable relationship. And that is not lowering your standards. Because I know so many people in the industry now, and so many of them are unhealthy or pure psychopaths. So even if you date a cam girl or a Twitch streamer, it's not going to be a healthy relationship. But she's never going to even look at you, because women like that have thousands of options. So our parents did the best they could with the limited abilities that they had. I think it's time to just start owning our own garbage and start taking them out. And that doesn't mean that because you didn't become the special snowflake they wanted you to be, you're worthless or you're useless, and I'm not either. But it means that maybe you start dedicating this time towards looking at yourself instead of just writing passive-aggressive garbage about other people that they have long ago moved on from you. And I say this as someone that moves on slower than a centipede with arthritis. Like, it takes me years to move on. But even I moved on. Like, even I moved on. What are you doing? Why are you still talking shit? And don't make one thing your entire personality. Don't make antinatalism your entire personality. Don't make your race your entire personality some crap. You become like those people who are vegan or who are trans, and they rant to everyone about their problems, and they try to force everyone to be vegan, or they try to force everyone to use specific pronouns, and at the end no one wants to associate with them because they take it to the extremes. Like, I'm the type of person that I'm very happy to eat vegan food. I'm very happy to even have a vegan diet for long periods of time, but not forced on me. When I feel like it, when my body feels that it aligns with my life, and so on. So please, if you watch this message and you feel you can relate, take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, where the fuck am I going? It's 2022, and you're still recycling garbage that have become fossils at this point, of things that happened in 2017, in 2019, and no one cares, not even me. Thank you for watching.